My guest today is James Crook. Some of you may have heard of him. He is one of the founding members of the Health Leader Co. And we're going to be talking about some software that he has created called Your Practice Pro. James is a digital marketer and he's been doing digital marketing for the most of his adult life. Before digital marketing, he actually worked with his dad as a cartographer, drawing maps before his dad sent him off into the digital world because he could see what was happening in the digital space. So James has been doing that. He's run his own marketing agency and he's been working in our business for the last 8 years. It was actually a really fun interview to do. So together we just kind of chatted about Your Practice Pro based on the fact that we are interviewing all sorts of amazing people who've created software specifically for the massage and bodywork industry. And I just thought this was a great thing to be able to include in these podcasts. And because it's a little bit different, as you'll hear throughout the episode. So I hope that you really enjoy it. Hey, James, welcome to the podcast today.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm so excited to have you, the actual founder of this, in fact, podcast.
I know it's nice to be on this side of the interview, right? I know you do a lot of interviews now anyway, but I do still get to be on that side most of the time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, nice work. Well, do you want to share a bit about your backstory and journey as a marketer?
Sure. Well, I guess a lot of you listening or watching, if you've been following us for a while, you'll know a little bit about me. My background is I ran a digital marketing agency for like 15 or 16 years while Alicia was building and running her clinic. So I was kind of involved on the edges of that and I did some marketing for you around that. But by and large, you were doing most of that yourself and I was running my own business and, we were both busy with our own things. And then after doing that for, like 15 years, I'd always found that the thing I liked the most was kind of connecting and training and teaching and kind of that aha moment of people getting excited about results. So actually, when you were just starting to do coaching, I was like, this is a really great opportunity to do the stuff that I love the most, that seems to give people the most engaging and powerful value anyway. And I sold that business and stepped full-time into business coaching and doing some training and marketing with massage therapists all around the world. So since then, even that was like 8 years ago now. So it's been an amazing journey. I know it's pretty crazy. And yeah, if people on this call are familiar with me, you'll have seen a bunch of stuff along the way. I've been privileged to speak at a bunch of conferences and do a whole lot of online training and co-author a book and do a whole lot of other cool stuff. So that's kind of the backstory. But I guess even in this business, I do a lot of training around marketing with our clients. It's kind of my little corner of our coaching and training that I tend to stick with. And I do the majority of the actual marketing for us, for the Health Leader Co. Yes, there's a small team and you guys, yourself and Christine are involved as well. But I'm kind of the backbone of that as well. So I've got a lot of marketing experience for all sorts of different businesses, including my own, over 25 years now, which is like hand on heart a little bit. It makes me a bit nervous to say those kind of numbers. 25 years ago, marketing, especially online, was so different.
And it makes the grey hair make so much more sense now because
Shut up, you. Had to bring that in, didn't you?
It just had to. If you're on a podcast, you've got a bit of salt and pepper going on up there. Okay, so great. Thank you, James. And yes, especially if you're new, and we know that a lot of people new listening to this may not know that this is part of the Health Leader Co. and why we are so gung-ho and big on digital marketing. And honestly, you click one thing, James will find you. He'll hunt you down. I'm like Liam Nelson, and you'll just kind of like, people like, I clicked on one thing and then I saw you everywhere. And James is like, yes, that is what I do.
A lot of it is automated, so it happens hopefully in a smart way.
Give away the secrets, James.
It's a secret I'm happy to share. That's part of what I do, right? Is I share how we do all this stuff. So that's absolutely fine. But today's not so much about how we do our marketing, right?
No, today is about the journey to finding a software that you have created or kind of set up, established, called Your Practice Pro. Do you want to share a bit about how did that come about? We sent you off, Christine and I sent you off to do some research and you came back to us, but do you want to share a bit about what that journey has been like? And share a bit about this.
Like it comes from what we've been using in our own business, essentially. So over the last, however many decades, but especially the last couple of years as we've been running our business, yourself and me, we started off, and then Christine has come in as another business partner. The three of us in the Health Leader Co. were using a mishmash of different pieces of software to do all the different things that we do with marketing. So we were using different software for actually, say, hosting our courses online where people were logging in. That was different to our email database, which was different to how we were scheduling our social media posts, which was different to how we were making funnels, different to how we were placing ads. And it's kind of like over time, we had found a really good tool, used it, loved it, and continued to use it, and then found another really good tool for something else. And we just had so much complexity that had just built up over time. And so what we were looking for was a way to be able to reduce that complexity and just simplify stuff into one piece of software. Very specifically, I know this is very much a marketing thing, but being able to connect with people using SMS and digital messaging, so things like Facebook Messenger and Instagram DMs, that was just getting really tricky because we would have a conversation with someone on SMS and then they would switch to, say, Messenger. And for us, that was a completely different app, a completely different place. And we would get lost on who was who and what we're talking about. So we ended up finding a very good piece of software that just put everything in one place. It simplified that messaging for starters. And then as I looked at it more, I'm like, hang on, this one software can also handle all our courses, be our email database, handle all of our even payments and or just everything across the whole business. It was really, really good at bringing everything into one place. So we began using it straight away. It did take a little while to figure because there's a lot going on there. We would work on one little piece and bring that in, and then we'd get rid of that software. And then we'd bring on another piece and bring that in and get rid of that other old software. So we kind of went through that process for probably
2 years.
Say maybe a year is what I was going to say.
It's been a really long process because it has to be done so thoroughly. And we didn't start out with a small business. We started by merging two very well-established businesses to create the Health Leader Co. So it has been a process of, nearly 2 years to really bring it up to the way that we're using it now.
That's right. And the software that we were using that's all in one is called High Level. And one of the advantages to High Level is we can take High Level, we can use it ourselves, but we can also adapt and adjust around it. We can kind of use some of the built-in tools and some development know-how that I managed to pick up along the way of my journey. And we've kind of taken that base software and turned it into something that our clients, and actually anyone, can benefit from. So it's almost like we found this tool looking for a kind of marketing and business management software tool. It's great as an all-in-one for that. But what it has ended up doing is meaning we can now teach our clients in our coaching programs, and we can say things like, this is how you write an ad. And then we can literally give them access to this tool where the ad is sitting there, where they can click a button and place the ad, where they can look at templates, where they can adjust things, where they can get the messages coming back from the ad and reply to them. And it's like this just fantastic tool to actually give people actionable outcomes from what was previously just we would teach them and they would have to go and find that software and sign up themselves. So it's worked out really, really well. Our clients get a whole lot more value and can actually just do the stuff that they need to do a whole lot more easily. And we now have this tool that we're very familiar with. We're teaching everyone the same thing. So across the board, it's worked out pretty fantastic.
I know as a practitioner, if there was access to all of that stuff in one place, oh my goodness, I would have loved that. I would have absolutely loved that. So what is the name of this fabulous software?
So we've released it called Your Practice Pro. And that means we're kind of taking that high level base that's got all of that kind of complicated stuff, and we're pulling out the things that just health professionals, specifically massage therapists, will use the most. And then we are adding in content and automations and calendars and all the stuff that we know practitioners use all the time. And then we're partnering with that with a little bit of training so that it's exactly what massage therapists and other body workers need.
I know when I have tried to explain what it is to our clients and therapists, I'm like, oh, it does this and this, oh, and this, oh, and this, and this, and this, and this. And oh, it's a really big, long service menu. Here's the link to the page, which of course we'll put in the show notes. And look, we have been speaking to a variety of people who have created software and created specifically booking software. And this is like, is this booking software, James? Like,
What a
talk to
good
me about
question.
that.
This is something therapists ask all the time because, like, for massage and even other kind of personal services that are very time-based, the calendar is the backbone of a lot of that business, right? It's like it's how you book people in, and that is then how you make money. So it's like the calendar is very, very important as a business system. Your Practice Pro has calendars in it. It works really well. What I would say, though, is Your Practice Pro is designed to keep things simple. So it's designed to have everything in one place and to make it really easy to kind of manage communication and connection. And it comes from a background of marketing. It's really designed for making it easy to do marketing, to get Google reviews and to place ads and to attract people in. So when I look at the calendar section specifically, if I look at one of the more mature calendar softwares like your Clinicos or your Power Diaries or Clinic Sense, like they've been around a long time. They do calendars really, really well and very specifically for the health industry. And then they kind of on the side offer a little bit of marketing and a little bit of maybe some practice management tools. But the calendar is the core. Your Practice Pro is almost like the opposite. It's like it's very focused on marketing and on making it really easy to track those clients, to keep them coming back, to find new people, and to manage that kind of back end of marketing of the business. And then it has calendars as well. So yes, you can make calendars, you book people in, it all works perfectly fine. But when it comes down to some of the more detailed things that health professionals use very specifically in calendars that are not common across other industries, that's where Your Practice Pro doesn't have some of that detail. So what I find is when people have been signing up to Your Practice Pro, there's really two types of people when they come in. One of them go, I love this. This is the best ever. I'm going to embrace it totally. They get rid of their other calendars, or maybe they're not using anything else. They jump in, they use the Your Practice Pro calendars and they use the Your Practice Pro everything else, and they just love life. They sit in there doing their thing. The other type of person, though, says stuff like, I love my insert name of their current calendar, and all my past data is in there. I've got all these people in there. I'm really happy with how it works. My clients are all familiar with it. I don't want to change that. And so what we do is we sit Your Practice Pro alongside their existing calendar software and get them to kind of talk to each other just enough that we can do marketing for them to their clients through Your Practice Pro, but we're not actually sort of storing the booking or client notes, that kind of more client management or booking management side of things. So it works pretty well both ways.
So James, if you say that this is like marketing software instead of like calendar software, and a lot of the calendar softwares also tells that they do marketing, what do you see? What's the difference? Like, if it can do if all the others can set up some email templates for retention and stuff like that, what is different in this marketing approach for in Your Practice Pro?
Yeah, sure. So I guess when I look at the other software, and we've used a bunch of them, what I would see is that they're very calendar based and they do marketing around that sort of calendar appointment. So for example, you get text message reminders. That's really useful. And you can often manually send a text message. So you can say manually message your entire database and say, I've got some appointments available next week. Who wants one? Or, whatever marketing message you want to put out there. And they can also have email sequences that you set up that kind of go out, and some of the more sophisticated pieces of software have much better marketing, but most of them, it's quite simple. It's like, if you haven't been in for this long, send them this sequence. That's kind of how it works. And to be honest, that kind of marketing is probably hitting a bunch of the stuff you would want from your actual booking software. But if you think about getting new clients or doing marketing that is outside your current client database, those bits of software just fall flat. They often don't have anything to do with how do I advertise for new people, or how do I track where someone new has come from and close that marketing loop so we can get feedback on what's working and what's not. Some of them will ask for reviews. Again, for example, you can just send an SMS that asks for a review. But does it have a list of what the reviews are and let you respond to them and see stats on how many review requests you've sent versus come in? Your Practice Pro really focuses on that side of things. It's designed by marketers for marketing, for getting new clients in. So it has a couple of really core ways of doing that are not just to do with your existing clients. When it does come to marketing to your existing clients or past clients, I would also say that Your Practice Pro is designed in a very flexible way. So for example, your traditional software might have an email sequence you can send or an SMS. Your Practice Pro can have something where you can say, I want to send them an email, a week later send them an SMS, and then engage them in a Facebook audience so they start seeing Facebook ads for the same thing, then send them this offer, and if they click this, then do that. Like there's a lot of flexibility around campaigns and how you can design them that works really well. And yeah, you can go crazy and learn all of that and get really good at it. Or you can just use some of the campaigns we've pre-built in there. That's kind of what the beauty of Your Practice Pro is as well. We've popped things in there that work really well from our experience. With templates, you just got to sort of adjust them to be your relevant info, and away you go.
And yeah, if you sort of think about like a clinic that needs a website, Your Practice Pro does that.
It does.
If you want bookings and online bookings, it does that. It does automatic SMS reminders. Then it's like, well, how do I schedule all my social media? It's a social media scheduler, and it's got AI tools built in. We also give you access to thousands of images when they sign up. They get it's part of the snapshot. That's what you get, plus the email templates for reminders and retention and things like that. And then a lot of people will say, like, oh, I want to sell a product, like I want to sell a spiky ball, or I want to sell something online, or I want to sell a digital download. It has the capacity to do that. And then you can make a course where you can sell it or sign up for memberships, etc. And this is actually something that we, once again, are actually modeling in our whole process. We sell our books both digitally and like actual like paperbacks. We sell our digital downloads. We put all of that into one place, and it's all run through our websites on Your Practice Pro. And it's like there was a little bit. I remember that tipping point of kind of going, well, it's a lot of trust in putting in one software. Like, is this? And yet, actually having it all in one place, our calendar is in one place, and even our sign-up agreements are now in Your Practice Pro and saved in there too. So, like when we look at a clinic and the kinds of things that they might want to use as a digital profile, whether it is sitting alongside their booking software or whether it's sitting natively in YPP, I think like there is so much possibility for people who are really keen to get their digital marketing looking amazing. When do you think somebody should start to use something like Your Practice Pro? If they're running a solo clinic, like at what point do you think that somebody should start to use this level of marketing in order for it to be effective and useful?
What a great question. I'd say first off that one of the things people like the most about it, our people that have signed up already, is that it simplifies things that were complicated before. So I mentioned the kind of messaging thing, and a lot of therapists really love that as well. It's like someone can message you on Facebook, message you on Instagram, send you an SMS or reply to an email, and you see it in like one inbox, and they're all attached to the one client, like the one contact, whether they're a client or not. So you never lose anything. You just sort of see it all in one place. So I guess that kind of thing is really useful if you're the kind of therapist that is getting messages from all over the place and needs to simplify that. But if you're really only like really small, if you're still talking to every client on the phone and you know them all personally and you're handwriting a paper diary, I'm not going to say jump into Your Practice Pro first off. It's big. It's got too much available to you for that. Not that you have to use everything, of course, but I would say most of the people who are stepping into using it are kind of already doing a bit like we were. They're already doing a bunch of those different things. They're already paying for a website subscription somewhere. They're already using some other booking software, most likely. They're probably also using some email marketing software like your MailChimp or something like that along the way. Maybe they're also paying for some kind of review management or reputation management thing. Maybe they're paying someone to manage their ads for them. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that they might be paying for. And they look at this and they go, you know what? I'm already spending a lot of money every month on all of that stuff. And worse than that, it's complicated. When I send an email here, I have to somehow link that to my other database here. It's just all messy. And if something goes wrong, everything falls apart. So this being all in one place is, I would say, probably the biggest single benefit. Like it does everything, but not everyone uses everything. But being simple is by itself a benefit. Just having everything together in one place makes it really easy.
Yeah, nice, nice. And so for you, if you look back over the last couple of years, two questions. One, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned in this whole process? And number two, is there anything you'd change or do differently in the way that you've created this now?
Oh, what a great question. I would definitely say that the software that we're working with as our kind of partner, or the access we're getting to the partner high level is very well developed. It moves very quickly, and they're very open to feedback from people like us, the people who are using it to create this software. So one thing I love is that we can ask for features and they get built in, which is great. So I guess one thing I might have done earlier was take advantage of that a little bit earlier in the cycle and actually take on feedback of things that we felt weren't quite matching what we wanted yet, and just give them that feedback. They've got a very open development group, and they've got like ideas boards that we have access to, that we can track ideas that we've got and put in requests of the kind of features that we want, that kind of stuff. And it's kind of exciting to see stuff that we offer, then that feedback being used to be able to actually make the stuff. So I guess that's part of always developing new creative business projects, is kind of how do we get feedback? How do we give feedback? How do we improve this as we go? And that has been a really exciting journey with Your Practice Pro, and something that, yeah, it's this, the quicker we can make that happen at any point, the better the product and the service that we're able to deliver with it gets.
Yeah, nice, nice. What is something that you are incredibly proud of that you have made or had the idea for?
That is a very cool question. I'd probably have to answer that there's two. So one might be within our business. I have done some really cool automations. So for example, when someone signs up to an email list, we sell multiple courses and stuff in our main business, right? The Health Leader Co. So we've got some people that are interested in scars, some hot stones, some in business training, all sorts of different stuff. So we've got automations that kind of segment our audience into those different filters, and we can then give them different information based on what it is that they're actually interested in, which from a marketing point of view is really cool. But even better, from the contact's point of view, they're only really seeing, or the majority of the information that they're seeing is on what they're actually interested in. And believe it or not, that kind of thing gets me excited as a marketer. It's kind of cutting edge marketing to be able to segment audiences like that in a small business like ours, and be able to do it so easily. It's really cool. Basically, it's just cool. I also do nerd out sometimes. I have a bit of fun with doing nerdy stuff with the tech team, but I won't talk too much about that. I guess the other side of what I am proud of is how much our clients embrace this. It's like at our last retreat, we showed our clients how to build an AI chatbot, which is one of the things in Your Practice Pro that's built in. It's available to every member, where you can put like a little chatbot on your website that can answer questions from people who are coming to your website, and even book you directly into the calendar. So the chatbot will say, hey, do you want an appointment? And you say, oh, have you got anything Friday morning? And it says, yeah, 10 a.m. Do you want in? And you say yes. And it just literally books you in. You don't have to click through screens to find a booking yourself. And that kind of technology just makes things easier. It's great for a booking experience for clients. But it's something that when I am able to give that to our members, it's like there's another whole piece of software that they don't have to pay for or learn. It's just literally built in. They click a few buttons, they set up the bot, and it's there. It's already working because it's all in one place. And that's the kind of stuff I get really excited about.
And we had, so they called him Dot the Bot. We had Kevin the Bot. We had like people naming their bots. It was like,
I
this is
know.
my welcome to my newest team member. Like, I love it. And then there was a bit of like, now we need definitely some KPI training on this bot. This new team member needs some help to get back on track. All right. So James, what are some of the features? We don't want to go through all of them. People can go to a page for that. But if we look at like,
Mm,
can it do wait lists, cancellations, prepayments, gift vouchers, team members? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
These are the more pointy ends of when I've looked for questions through Facebook groups.
sure.
These are the things people ask.
Exactly. So all the normal stuff that we would expect to see in clinic management software or booking software, it can do. So yes, you can set up a wait list quite easily. Then you can message or SMS that wait list, or you can even send ads on social media or Google directly to people on that wait list. Like it handles kind of segmentation and marketing like that really easily. It does normal calendars, it does group calendars, it has the ability to have different team members assigned to different calendars and to even different rooms and equipment. So you can sort of say, I only want this team member in this room and that equipment can only be booked at one time. Like all of that kind of stuff is in there and works really well. Group calendars for classes and that sort of thing are in there. What else did you mention there? I forgot what else you
Gift
said.
vouchers,
Oh, yeah.
memberships, classes, and body notes and diagrams.
Sure. So it also does memberships quite easily. It has its own whole payment system built in. So you can either do one-off payments or membership payments. You can give people access to certain digital products automatically while they're a member. So it's like they do their monthly or weekly membership payment and they get access to like an online community or a little course or whatever other resources you might have that you want to give them. And then you can just do whatever other membership stuff you do with them like that as well. So that works really well. When it comes to specifically some of those things you mentioned, gift vouchers, for example, you can sell anything on it. So you can say, here's a voucher, buy it. But what it doesn't have is the ability to kind of track what vouchers have been used or who has bought what and whether it's come in or not yet. You'd have to do that part of it yourself. So it's a little bit like you would if you're at reception and someone says, can I buy a voucher? And you just whip the voucher out of your cupboard and you give it to them and take the money. It's like, awesome, I'm selling a voucher, but I don't have an automatic way of tracking that. I'm just going to do the actual tracking manually. So you would do it that way. And there was one more thing you asked there.
Notes and diagrams.
Notes and diagrams. So yes, the notes are text. You write text notes. You can attach images. So I don't know, if you drew it on a bit of paper, you could take a photo of it or something, but you're not drawing on an iPad or anything like that. I know some of the other software is really neat like that. It's not like that. You're just going to be writing text notes in there.
Yeah. And it's that's why I've been asking these questions to go, what does it do? What doesn't it do? And
Exactly. Yeah.
the gift voucher thing, I've heard from multiple of them, especially even the ones that we featured. There is always a way to sell them. It's just a bit of a workaround. It's not their core feature. However, it's good to know if you're looking for something, it's good to know what it does and doesn't do. Do you have a 10-second elevator pitch, James?
I don't have anything written down, but I'll give it a go.
Go. And now.
So Your Practice Pro is all-in-one marketing software that can help you promote your practice to more people and then manage those people much more easily because everything is in one place and it makes it super easy to communicate with new clients as well as your past clients.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic. I love that. Again, most people are like, I have not thought about my 10-second elevator pitches yet. Something seems to come out. I love this. And why should someone choose? Last question. Why should someone choose Your Practice Pro as their booking software?
I think, like we sort of covered earlier, choosing it as your booking software is probably going to mean that you actually want a bunch of the other features as well. If you are literally just after booking software and you don't want to do anything else, Your Practice Pro is not for you. Quite honestly, you'd be paying for just one slice of a very big pie, and you might as well use the whole pie or go somewhere that only does that one thing. So we're not really looking at it as just booking software, but what it is for people who are ready to do more or who are already doing more, but they're doing it across 5 different apps and bits and pieces of different software. This brings it all into one place and makes it simpler. So we're solving a complexity problem. We're solving a this doesn't talk to that, and I'm getting lost with clients messaging me over here, and then I forget what their email address is. Like all of that just disappears, and you've just got one place where everyone goes. The other good thing about it is designed to handle growth quite well. So for example, you can have an unlimited number of contacts and clients in there, an unlimited number of staff or team members of any type, unlimited calendars, unlimited, I don't know, bookings, just everything is unlimited. So it makes it much, much easier to be able to set something up right now and just know that you can always use this. It's not something where, oh, this is going to be fine for the next 6 months and I'm going to need another thing, rah, rah. It's like, no, if you set yourself up to make this work right now, you can continue to grow your business on this platform into the future.
I love it. James, thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your story today. And thanks for, telling us all about your Practice Pro. It's been great.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you for asking me so many great questions.
Woo!